And thank you for joining us. I'm Peter Dubois. First tonight, the Independent Commission to investigate the Lewiston mass shootings held its first of many fact-finding hearings today as they work to get to the bottom of the events and police response leading up to the October 25th mass shootings. Sheriff's deputies blamed the yellow flag law for their inability to act during their previous interactions with the mass shooter. Our Augusta reporter Corey Bouchard explains.
The commission investigating the Lewiston mass shooting held their first public investigative hearing. For around 6 hours, they questioned Saginaw County Sheriff's Office about their interactions with Robert Card prior to the October 25th mass shooting.
We all share a common goal: to understand what happened on October 25th in Lewiston and to do everything that we can to ensure that nothing like this tragic event ever happens again in our state.
During the hearing, commission members heard about Saginaw County Sheriff's Office's first interactions with Robert Card, which was in May of 2023, when Robert Card's teenage son and ex-wife had concerns about his mental health and access to firearms. Deputies decided not to speak with Card, but instead to speak with his family members and Army Reserve unit about the concerns.
He told me that, in fact, Mr. Card had been accusing fellow service members of the unit of calling him a pedophile.
Deputy Carlton said he believed the decision to not try and make contact with Card was the right decision, and say they felt limited by their actions due to Maine's current yellow flag law.
Because there was evidence of mental health issues, there was access to firearms, but there did not seem to be any threats of suicide or homicide.
Correct.
Or imminent threat to other persons. You determined that protective custody, at least at that point, was not appropriate. Is that fair?
That's partially fair. You know, through the lens of May 3rd, I truly believe I took the best course of action to get him on the right path he needed to be on.
In mid-September of 2023, deputies were contacted by members of Card's Army Reserve unit and asked to conduct a welfare check. Deputies went to Card's address, but weren't able to make contact.
And the way his home set, it's a mobile home. You're driving kind of into the end of it, not the side. Could see curtains moving, could hear moving, could hear something moving. I presume it was him. I believe that he was in fact home.
Sergeant Schofield said there was a number of factors why he didn't continue to try and make contact with Card, one being the timing of the report.
And once I found out that that information was, in my mind's eye, over 12 hours old, it didn't meet the same urgency standard as someone in crisis right here and now that needs to be dealt with.
Sheriff Mary defended his department's response to Card's actions prior to the shooting.
Deputies believed that the matter with Mr. Card had been resolved and that when they ended their involvement, that he posed no risk to himself or to others.
The next hearing is scheduled for February 1st, where the commission will hear from the families of victims from the Lewiston mass shooting. In Augusta, I'm Corey Bouchard for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Bangor police are asking the public for help tracking down a vehicle they believe was involved in a hit-and-run crash earlier this evening. Police responded to a call about a pedestrian struck by a vehicle on Union Street near the intersection of 14th Street just after 6:30. Lieutenant Jason Stewart says when they arrived, they found a 46-year-old man who'd been struck by a vehicle which had fled the scene. The man was transported to a local hospital. He remains in stable condition tonight. Here's a photo of the vehicle police believe was involved in the crash. Right now, the year, make, and model of the car is unclear. Anyone with information on the vehicle or driver is asked to call Bangor Police. That number is 947-7384. A Wayne man is being charged with the sexual exploitation of a minor. 29-year-old William Smith was arrested after the school resource officer at Maranacook Community School began an investigation into a complaint from a 14-year-old girl at the school. She said Smith was allegedly contacting her by social media, requesting photos and threatening her with consequences if she did not comply. Smith was unaware he was actually communicating with a deputy from the Kennebec County Sheriff's Office. He was arrested yesterday at a residence in Vassalboro. He's been charged with sexual exploitation of a minor and solicitation of a child for commercial sexual exploitation. His bail has been set at $5,000 cash. A 3-month investigation by the Maine Drug Enforcement Agency has resulted in the arrests of 6 people from Ellsworth and Mount Desert Island. MDEA Commander Peter Arno says drug agents made several undercover purchases from residences at 1261 Main Street in Mount Desert and 6 Kiley's Way in Ellsworth. At approximately 4 o'clock Wednesday afternoon, they searched both those homes. Arno says they found 35 grams of fentanyl, 20 grams of crack cocaine, 200 strips of Suboxone, and other drugs, as well as $9,000 in suspected drug proceeds. 55-year-old Carl Carter of Mount Desert, 42-year-old Ian Jellison of Southwest Harbor, and 37-year-old Shannon Stanley of Tremont are all charged with trafficking in fentanyl. 48-year-old Jeffrey Card of Ellsworth is charged with trafficking methamphetamine. 54-year-old Alfred Lanfer of Mount Desert is charged with trafficking fentanyl and cocaine. 36-year-old Justin Bent of Southwest Harbor is charged with unlawful possession of cocaine. Each of them are expected to appear in court on Friday. An apartment fire in Clinton led to a woman being charged with arson. A little before 10 o'clock last night, Clinton police and firefighters were called to 12 Roderick Road when tenants thought they smelled smoke. They found a fire in an upstairs apartment but were able to knock it down quickly. Police say 30-year-old Jamie Perry, who lived in the apartment, had disappeared. According to police, they were able to find tracks in the snow and followed them to a snowbank at the end of Lindsay Lane, where they found Perry covered in a blanket lying on the ground. She was taken to the hospital for medical evaluation. Police say Perry admitted she started that fire because of a dispute with her landlord. She was released on $500 bail. An elderly man faces multiple charges for driving the wrong way along I-95 southbound in Waterville this afternoon, which resulted in a tractor-trailer crash. The incident happened near exit 130. Maine State Police got a call about a wrong-way driver along I-95 driving northbound in the southbound lane. A tractor-trailer swerved out of the way to avoid crashing into that driver, causing them to cross over the center line and into a ditch. Thankfully, no one was injured. The driver, 71-year-old Randolph Jerry of Winslow, was charged with driving to endanger and operating the wrong way on a divided highway. Maine State Police say there were no signs of impairment or medical conditions. That crash remains under investigation. Police have identified the victim of a fatal car crash along Medford Road in LaGrange on Sunday. According to the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office, the 58-year-old Wendell Dunham of Milo died in that crash. The other occupant was 45-year-old Wayne Weeks of Medford. Officers responded to the scene on Sunday after receiving a call that a vehicle had gone off the Medford Road in LaGrange and landed in a stream. Officials say Weeks escaped with minor injuries, but Wendell Dunham could not be saved. That crash is also under investigation. The Maine Supreme Court has dismissed an appeal to keep the former president off the Maine ballot. In December, Secretary of State Shenna Bellows ruled that Trump violated his constitutional oath when he engaged in insurrection at the Capitol. She disqualified him from appearing on the GOP ballot in June, and Trump appealed that decision to Maine's Superior Court. The court sided with Trump and decided to put enforcement of the secretary's ruling on hold until the U.S. Supreme Court can rule on a similar Colorado case. Bellows appealed that decision, but the Superior Court on Wednesday decided to dismiss the appeal. The U.S. Supreme Court will consider the Colorado case on February 8th. We'll keep you updated as that situation continues to unfold. With the first in-the-nation primary in New Hampshire now over and Donald Trump winning by a double-digit margin over Nikki Haley, Trump is seeing new endorsements from GOP members. But Maine's Republican Senator Susan Collins went on the record on Thursday, saying she couldn't see herself endorsing former President Trump, even if he gets the Republican nomination for president. We spoke with UMaine's Chair of Political Science, Mark Brewer, who shared his thoughts on whether Senator Collins' decision could affect the race for president or Collins' own political career.
It probably hurts them both, but with different groups of Republicans, right? I mean, I think, for Senator Collins, if for those Mainers who are diehard Trump supporters, they're probably grumbling today. And they've, probably something along the lines of, Susan Collins is a rhino, and I've always known she was a rhino, and she's not supporting the party. On the other hand, if you're a never Trump Republican or an unenrolled voter who could vote for somebody of either party, you're probably looking at Collins and saying, well, good for her for having, the courage to stand up and say, no, I'm not going to set my principles aside. I'm not going to endorse this person just because they're a member of my own party.
Say she was not formally endorsing Nikki Haley either. More than 62,500 Maine people signed up for coverage in 2024 through Maine's insurance marketplace. Open enrollment through coverme.gov ended last week. A release from DHHS says 4 out of 5 Mainers who selected a plan qualified for financial assistance. More than 10,000 were new consumers who didn't have a marketplace plan. That tops last year's numbers. The next enrollment period will start on November 1st. Lawmakers unveiled new legislation that aims to help Mainers struggling with medical debt. Our Matthew Jurancic with that story.
Thursday afternoon, Senators Troy Jackson and Mike Tipping introduced bills that would combat medical debt.
If you don't pay for your health, you pay with your life.
According to a March 2022 KFF survey, 100,000 or 41% of U.S. adults are dealing with some kind of medical debt. Senator Jackson's bill, LD 2184, will limit exploitative medical credit card practices by putting consumer protections in place for patients. Senator Tipping's bill, LD 2115, will allow Mainers the right to refuse the initial sale of their medical debt to a debt collector for a lesser value.
We need to have some broader systemic changes to a broken system, but it'll help. And right now, Mainers need all the help they can get.
Affordability is one of the biggest issues Maine Consumers for Affordable Healthcare Executive Director Ann Willison sees from Mainers across the state.
We heard about affordability in 2022 from about 3% of our calls. This past year, we heard about affordability issues at about 25% of our calls.
Maine People's Alliance's Patricia Kidder knows how medical debt can destroy people's lives. Her own medical debt forced her to file for bankruptcy in 1997. Kidder says no one should be suffering from medical debt like she did.
This is ridiculous that people have their credit ratings ruined for 10 years over medical debt. This is not right.
In Augusta, Matthew Jurancic, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Looking outdoors, things a little warmer today out there, but it sounds like some more changes are on the way. Let's turn things over to Conrad Supinski with the first check of our forecast now.
Thank you so much, Peter. All right, feeling like winter out there, right? Please be careful, though. By tomorrow, we are going to get a little bit more snow, so we're definitely going to be adding on to the 4 inches we got on the ground. The coast, not quite as lucky. For you snow lovers, you got to go up north. Greenville is the spot, and then same story just west of Greenville. That's where we're talking a lot more snow on the ground. Some places well over a foot. Feeling like winter, right? For now, though, good amount of clouds out there, partly to mostly cloudy skies. We're going to continue to see some increasing clouds overnight. Of course, that snow will be moving in by tomorrow morning and then lasting all day on Friday and then even into those morning hours on Saturday. For now, though, the winds are pretty calm, anywhere between 5-10 miles per hour. Wind gusts are closer to 15 miles per hour. Overnight tonight, though, we're going to continue to see light winds, temperatures below freezing, and some increasing clouds. Peter?
All righty, Conrad, thank you. And still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, Dover Foxcroft residents debate what to do with the Mayo Mill Dam. Our Grace Blanchard will have that story. And every homeowner in Maine knows the dangers posed by frozen pipes. Our Doug Banks spoke with experts on how to prevent and treat them. Stay tuned.
Quitting smoking, vaping, and other tobacco may be tough, but you can do it, even if you don't get it right the first time. Don't give up. Working with a quit coach increases your chances of successfully quitting, especially combined with quit medications. That's why each quit program through the Maine Quit Link offers free patches, gum, and/or lozenges and helps you build a customized quit plan. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW or enroll online at mainequitlink.com. It's free and it works.
My father started a roofing company in the 1970s.
Back when asbestos was still commonly used in Maine.
When George was diagnosed with mesothelioma, we knew there wasn't a cure yet, but we knew he needed help.
We called Joe Bornstein's office because this family means business.
Their team is handling everything, representing Mainers who were victims of asbestos exposure.
We highly recommend the law offices of Joe Bornstein.
Call Joe today for a free case evaluation. There's never a fee unless you win.
Great Scott! This is Green Bear 420 in 2010. What kind of trip is this? I gotta get back to 2023. Wait, It's 2015. So much has changed. In 2023, we had a lot more glass, t-shirts, and novelties. It's gonna take a bolt of lightning to get me home. Finally, home at last. Now Green Bear 420, Green Bear Green Care is bigger and better than ever. To be continued.
Do you need to replace your old, worn-out windows? Then you need to call Renewal by Andersen today. We're the replacement window division of Andersen, which means you can get your project started right away by scheduling a free in-home consultation. Ask your consultant about pricing options, including our 1-year price lock guarantee quote. Call now to schedule your free design consultation. This fantastic money-saving deal with great financing ends soon. Installation is always included. Call now.
The baddest superstars on the planet are unleashed in prime time. From the heavens! All new Friday Night SmackDown at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Hi there, I'm Emma Smith, and coming up on Good Morning Maine, we'll hear the latest from Augusta, since there will be a vote on the procedural change that may or may not allow children from other states to get gender-affirming care here in Maine. Plus, we'll have an announcement from Husson University, a big one at that, and a live interview with folks from a food distribution center in Dexter.
Welcome back. Local emergency management crews are assessing storm damage in Scarborough and other spots along the coast. Johnny Maffey caught up with neighbors and officials and has more.
After FEMA and MEMA crews checked out the storm damage in Georgetown yesterday, they made their way to Scarborough today to see what the record-breaking high tide left at Higgins Beach. We sludged through the snow as federal, state, and local crews started at the pump station at Higgins, which was a focus for Scarborough Fire Chief Rich Kendallin.
The complete underground pump station was underwater and actually coming out of the top of the hatch, which destroyed a couple pumps and all the infrastructure and electronics down below as well.
He says the sanitation department worked swiftly to bring in rental pumps and trucks, even putting some on trailers above floodwater so the pumps would not back up. Allie Bromley lives a street away from the beach and thanks the crews for the quick work, too.
Things were springing into action immediately. There were crews out cleaning things up. There was really very little debris on this street as of the end of the day, which was really impressive.
Scarborough is looking to recover costs not just from the cleanup.
Both the protective measures that we did previous to the storm, hiring extra police, fire, public works, contractors to prepare for the storm. Also, any public infrastructure damage, roads, bridges, the beach areas, any infrastructure that helps protect us from the ocean are areas that we're looking to get repaired.
We want to see all of the damage that the state wants to show us, and we are committed to be here as long as it takes to finish that mission.
Neighbors hope for federal funding, too.
I mean, our community certainly deserves it, and I think that this is a place that's really enjoyed by a lot more than just the people who live here.
The chief is hopeful.
This is not the first process I've been through. It's certainly one of the largest storms that I've had to deal with in my career. However, I think that with the team that we built here and working closely and the fact that this many people showed up today to hear our story, I'm hopeful that we'll see some relief.
And again, that was Johnny Maffey reporting. Meanwhile, the Mayo Mill Dam in Dover-Foxcroft has been a staple to the area for more than a century. And earlier this evening, a public forum took place as the town considers its removal. Our Grace Blanchard spoke with town officials and area residents to learn more.
The sounds of rushing water from the Mayo Mill Dam can be heard all throughout downtown Dover-Foxcroft. However, after over a century of sitting on the Piscataquis River, town officials are considering its removal due to its aging structure and major flooding risks.
You can't just put a dam in a river anywhere and just keep it there without serving no public purpose.
According to the chairman of the town select board, the dam has not been producing any electricity for over a decade.
I think this is a chance to honor our past history while moving into the future, and I hope the future does not include flooding dangers.
Lizotte says the storms this past December were a rude awakening as much of the area suffered major flooding.
That was Mother Nature's message to us: take this seriously, do something about it.
If they choose to remove the dam, the select board is considering the idea of creating a community park along the river. Some community members are welcoming the idea of change.
I think what I'd like to see is somehow put in a science and history center along with the dam or somewhere in the area.
However, the town is expecting many to push back.
I don't know anything different about the river. That's all I've ever seen. but continuing to do it that way leaves us increasingly vulnerable to flooding. And I cannot, as an elected official, allow that to happen. We need to do something.
In Dover Foxcroft, Grace Blanchard for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Although the pipes in your house are out of sight, they shouldn't be out of mind, as it only takes one cold snap to cause major damage to your home. Our Doug Banks shares how to treat and prevent those frozen pipes.
If your home suddenly turns cold or water doesn't appear from your sink faucet, a frozen pipe could be the root of that problem.
One frozen pipe could lead to multiple breaks or causing other damages to the house.
Low temperatures and poor home or pipe installation can cause pipes to freeze, and when they break, they could cost homeowners hundreds of thousands of dollars to fix. West says electric pipe warmers and space heaters can help, so long as the heating device is not gas-powered. Opening cabinet doors can bring warm airflow towards the pipes. There are also preventive maintenance measures, such as installing pipe insulators and keeping the heat on in all areas of your home during the cold months. When temperatures drop, turning faucets on so the water slowly drips out will help keep the water in the pipes moving. If problems persist, contact a professional before it becomes an emergency.
Sometimes as a homeowner you can use a hair dryer to try to unthaw them, but once they become severe enough that they're really frozen, you're going to want to contact a professional.
In Hamden, Doug Banks, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Husson University has named its first ever woman president. Our David Ledford sat down with her to learn about her plans for the school.
We're very excited about Husson's future.
Since its founding, Husson University has never had a female president. Lynn Coy-Ogan is going to change that.
It's a privilege to have been selected.
Coy-Ogan will be the 7th president in the school's 125-year history. She has served as the senior vice president and provost for Husson for the last 15 years and has worked in a number of roles in education throughout her career.
I've dedicated my entire career starting as an elementary school teacher, so really working from elementary school to graduate school to drive academic excellence.
During her time as president, Coy-Ogan says she plans to emphasize experiential learning as well as online courses.
Reading students through interactive experiences is a hallmark of Husson education. We're very excited to expand our campus and our opportunities online to bring Husson degrees to new audiences. We're really excited to be launching 5 new degree programs this March that will start in the fall semester.
Coy-Ogan is following in the footsteps of Robert Clark, who served as Husson's president since 2010 and announced his retirement in October of last year. Coy-Ogan will officially assume the presidency on July 1st and says she's excited to move forward.
I'm a passionate leader who believes extensively in the power of education to transform student lives. My first initiative will be focused on listening sessions to be able to hear from our students, our faculty and staff.
In Bangor, David Ledford, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Some exciting times ahead for Husson University. Coming up on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, we'll have the latest from Israel's ongoing campaign in Gaza. And the dispute between Texas Governor Greg Abbott and President Joe Biden intensifies as legislators on Capitol Hill continue to try to formulate a viable border policy. We'll have those stories and more coming right up.
Float to Fire Farms. Our products and staff are of the highest quality. Glassware, powerful puff, and CBD products. You'll be so happy your face will light up. 38 Storette Drive in Belfast.
Behind every keepsake, there's a memory. Behind every photo, there's a story. Behind Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration, there's people giving back by bringing back what was thought to be lost. The details, the time, and the expertise, all packaged up behind a name that Mainers have trusted for over 35 years. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. You keep the memories. We'll handle the rest.
Jerry's Used Cars has been a family-owned business for more than 30 years, currently in Corinna and Vesey. However, we have changed a little as we are no longer just a buy here, pay here dealership. We now have access to outside financing and also carry utility trailers. We would be happy to assist you with your next vehicle purchase. And don't forget, here at Jerry's Used Cars, we offer an extended warranty. So give us a call at either our Corinna or Vesey location.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
Let's bring it to these boys. Get ready for the NFC Championship game on Fox. Let's go! Jared Goff has the Lions one win away from their first ever Super Bowl appearance.
Oh my goodness!
Now, they'll take on Christian McCaffrey and the top-seeded Niners. We win, we in, baby. We win, we in. Lions, Niners, the NFC Championship. Sunday on Fox.
Float to Fire Farms. Our products and staff are of the highest quality. Glassware, powerful puff, and CBD products. You'll be so happy your face will light up. 38 Storette Drive in Belfast.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
As the fighting in central Gaza intensifies, Israel says it's working to create an informal buffer zone about a half-mile wide along the border. Fox's Alex Hogan has more from Tel Aviv.
Heavy fighting is still being reported in Khan Yunis, Gaza's second biggest city, with Israel now denying that its forces were involved in a strike on a UN center that killed at least 13 people. The IDF has been fighting block-by-block battles trying to clear the city, but it hasn't been easy. And now a new tactic is being floated. The Israeli government reportedly considering a temporary buffer zone along the Gaza border to prevent militants from attacking Israeli towns and cities. Officials here say regardless of whether the zone is established, the goal remains the same.
Israel will not give up on the destruction of Hamas, the return of all the hostages, and there will be no security threat from Gaza towards Israel.
The fighting comes as diplomatic efforts remain stalled, and a new rift is emerging, with Qatar protesting leaked remarks by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu criticizing the Qatari government for its close relationship reportedly with Hamas.
I don't thank Qatar. Why? Because in my view, Qatar is no different in essence from the United Nations.
That's a problem because Qatar has been a key mediator since the start of the war, communicating with both sides in an effort to help free the hostages. But the State Department says those efforts will continue.
We continue to work closely with partners in the Israeli government to do what we can and to help assist in that effort.
And CIA Director Bill Burns is expected to meet with officials from Israel, Egypt, and Qatar in the coming days for talks on a new hostage deal. In Tel Aviv, Israel, Alex Hogan, Fox News.
Meanwhile, Texas is not backing down in its fight against the Biden administration over border security. The state is in a legal battle over its use of razor wire along the border, while lawmakers in Washington are still working on new immigration policy. Fox's Rebecca Castor reports.
And one of the strongest acts of defiance for a modern-day governor, Greg Abbott has declared the border crisis an invasion and invoked Texas's constitutional right to self-defense.
The authors of the Constitution knew there would be times when the federal government would not live up to its duty. Texas has a right, as a state, to stop criminals from coming into our state.
Losing trust in Biden's border agents, the Texas National Guard has taken over control of one area of the border popular for illegal crossings. There's also been debate about the use of razor wire to stop migrants, with the Supreme Court giving approval Monday for the Biden admin to start cutting the wire.
It's not making people's lives safer. It's actually making it harder for law enforcement at the border to do their job.
Despite the legal blow, Abbott says Texas will hold the line, while in Washington, lawmakers continue to hash out an immigration reform package.
We have the outlines of a deal. We've had it for several days. It's 90+% written.
But will passing it rely on approval from former President Donald Trump? As insiders suggest, some Republicans don't want to lose their top issue during election season.
I don't agree on that, and the reason I don't agree on that is, one, we have a constitutional responsibility to be able to protect the country and its safety. The things that are in this bill, Donald Trump would actually want to be able to have as president on this.
Right now, further emergency aid for Ukraine is contingent on new border policy being passed. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
You'll remember that video of Alaska Air passengers in flight with a gaping hole in the side of their airplane. That was a Boeing plane that was grounded after a door panel blew off. And as soon as tomorrow, those grounded jets will be back in the air. But problems aren't going away for Boeing. Fox's Rebecca Castor with that story, too.
Weeks after a panel blew out on a Boeing 737 MAX 9 plane mid-flight, the FAA has given the green light for the grounded jets to return to the skies once airlines complete inspections.
I feel like it's completely irresponsible. We found that there's many more airplanes that are having problems.
Boeing CEO is in damage control on Capitol Hill this week to reassure lawmakers and customers that his planes are safe to fly.
You don't have any words of assurance for customers who are too scared to fly on a Boeing plane?
We believe in our airplanes. We field safe airplanes. Our people do. We have confidence in the safety of our airplanes. And that's what all of this is about.
The senior executives, they're completely out of touch with the people that are working in the factories.
Alaska and United Airlines, the only U.S. carriers with MAX 9s in their fleet, were forced to cancel thousands of flights. While the planes are returning to service, the FAA is now putting limits on Boeing's mass production of 737 MAX jets. Other airlines are not counting on adding the MAX 7 to their fleets this year, and Congress is weighing legislation to hold the aerospace giant accountable.
We don't have a future in aviation unless the American public, people who fly, know that they are safe and they feel comfortable getting in an airplane.
The National Transportation Safety Board is still investigating what caused the door panel to blow off and will pay another visit to Boeing's assembly plant in Washington state on Friday. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, a man who's allegedly been stalking Taylor Swift has been arrested at her Manhattan apartment building again after posting bail. And the Brewer boys hockey team haven't lost in 4 games. We'll hear from the team about their recent hot streak coming up.
Who are you?
I'm no one.
Stop lying!
I'm just the cleaning lady.
The Cleaning Lady premieres Tuesday, March 5th on Fox.
CEM DP Porter Contractors have been in business for more than 40 years. We have recently added an electrical division to further be of service to our loyal customers. CEM specializes in design build of commercial and residential projects. Whether you need help with older construction, new build-outs, or electrical services, CEM has you covered. CEM is currently hiring for all positions. We offer competitive pay as well as great benefits. To inquire about employment or construction, please reach out to 848-7486 or visit CEMMaine.com.
The Orono Arcade is an ideal birthday party destination. We have the best arcade video games, including Tomb Raider, Halo, Need for Speed, Mario Kart, and Luigi's Mansion. You are guaranteed to have hours of fun. Plus, we also have a 9-hole blacklight mini golf course that changes weekly. Allow us to provide hours of fun for you and your friends. You bring the cake, we'll provide the entertainment. Call us today to schedule your birthday party event, 889-3166.
To celebrate the new year, we're having the biggest sale ever on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save 60% on our Goose Down comforters, the best comforters ever. They go perfectly with our MyPillow bed sheets and duvet covers. Save 25% on our brand new kitchen towels. They're made with the same technology as our famous My Towels. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. Our seasonal flannel sheets are finally in. You save up to 50% and they sell out fast every year, so order now. They're truly the best flannel sheets you'll ever sleep on. Or save up to 80% on all our clearance items. And this is where it gets even better. For a limited time, your entire order ships absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use that promo code to get deep discounts on all MyPillow products. And for a limited time, your order ships absolutely free.
Excitement comes standard with the Honda Accord. And so does a turbocharged engine. Sophisticated. High-tech. Style that enhances functionality. Stand out with the Honda Accord. From Honda, the most awarded brand in Car and Driver 10 Best history. Contact your Honda dealer today or shop online.
A former employee of WWE boss Vince McMahon has accused him, the company, and a former executive of sex trafficking in a new lawsuit. Janelle Grant, a former employee at WWE's headquarters, said in a lawsuit filed Thursday that she was abused and sexually exploited by McMahon while he was chief executive. She alleged that McMahon lured her with promises of career advancement, and then he allegedly exploited her and trafficked her to other men inside the company. A law firm conducted an internal company probe launched by the company just last year. Both the breadth and efficacy of that probe are now being called into question. Taylor Swift's alleged stalker was released without bail, only for him to immediately show up at her apartment again. Fox's Ashley Dvorkin with that story.
You're gonna go see Taylor Swift again? Huh? David, why are you stalking her?
Stop.
Are you in love with her?
In the last 2 months, David Crow has been caught lurking around Taylor Swift's Manhattan home 30 times.
David, why are you stalking her?
Recently, the 33-year-old Seattle man was nabbed twice in 3 days outside the singer's Tribeca complex. And he found himself back in cuffs Wednesday when he returned there less than an hour after being cut loose by a Manhattan judge.
He gets out, he went right back to it, went back to where he's at. So you're going to continue to see this behavior, but when it happens to a star, we're talking about it.
Crow was first arrested on November 25th, and he's been warned several times by Swift's building's custodian to stay away. Police sources say even though cops took Crow into custody, they didn't have a complainant file a report or proof he actually committed a crime, which led to his release.
But I guarantee you this is happening to hundreds, if not thousands of women all through this country who are being stalked, especially in these places where there's no bail, to where at least when your guy gets arrested and he spends the weekend in jail and has to figure out that he has time to think. This guy's in and out.
A neighbor telling Page 6, Crow had been hanging out in the area for about a month before police arrested him.
This person is obviously very sick. He's not getting the help that he needs, and he's not being kept away from someone whom he might harm.
Crow is currently in police custody. So far, no word from Swift's camp. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
All right, and when we come back, we'll have our full 5-day forecast. Stay tuned.
All right, folks, get ready. A little bit more snow is back in the forecast. How much snow are we going to get? Well, you got to tune in to find out.
Are plumbing problems giving you a headache? Look no further than Sprague's Plumbing Solutions. With more than 10 years' experience, Sprague's Plumbing Solutions has the knowledge to assist with your plumbing issues. Whether it's a service, remodel, new build, or commercial, we've got you covered. For reliable, professional plumbing services, call Sprague's Plumbing Solutions today for a free estimate. 951-1637. We're here to make your plumbing problems disappear.
Nothing comes close to this place in the morning. I'm so glad I can still come here. You see, I was diagnosed with obstructive HCM, and there were some days I was so short of breath, I thought I'd have to settle for never stepping foot on this trail again. I became great at making excuses, but I have people who count on me, so I talked to my cardiologist. I said there must be more we can do for my symptoms. He told me about a medication called Camzyos. He said Camzyos works by targeting what's causing my obstructive HCM, so he prescribed it, and I'm really glad he did.
Camzyos is used to treat adults with symptomatic obstructive HCM. Camzyos may improve your symptoms and your ability to be active. Camzyos may cause serious side effects, including heart failure that can lead to death, a risk that's increased if you develop a serious infection or irregular heartbeat or when taking certain other medicines. So do not stop, start, or change medicines or the dose without telling your healthcare provider. You must have echocardiograms before and during treatment. Seek help if you experience new or worsening symptoms of heart failure. Because of this risk, Camzyos is only available through a restricted program. Before taking Camzyos, tell your doctor about all of your medical conditions, including current or planned pregnancy.
Today with Camzyos, I don't lose my breath as often. My symptoms have improved, helping me go from expecting less to experiencing more. My name is Mike, and this is my Camzyos moment. Call your cardiologist today and see if a Camzyos moment may be in your future too.
For new farmers.
The one thing that's missing for me is somebody to share all this with.
For new chances at love.
Welcome back, folks. Our main weather is brought to you by Fire Farms. Fire Farms is Belfast's #1 dispensary, offering a great selection of pipes, water pipes, CBD products, and much more. And get ready for this. Of course, it's winter, middle of winter. We do have some winter weather advisories that have been posted till around 10 p.m. on Friday. I don't quite know why the National Weather Service did not post winter weather advisories here in town. They should be. I don't know what they're thinking, but we are definitely getting some snow, folks. So even though we don't have any winter weather advisories here in town, we are still getting a lot of snow by tomorrow into those early morning hours on Saturday. Lots of moisture, though. This is all coming from the Gulf. All of this coming all the way up north, right through the eastern seaboard. Of course, lots of flooding down south, Louisiana, even California having some flood issues. Not surprised there. They've had round after round after round of rain down south, and temperatures, of course, are much warmer than what we got going on here. For now, though, partly to mostly cloudy skies. We're going to continue to see some increase in clouds overnight, of course, as this low pressure system moves closer to our area. Past midnight, though, let's say early morning hours, after that morning commute, that's when the snow will be beginning. We might have a couple of flurries by that morning rush, but most of that accumulative snowfall, that light to moderate snow, will be arriving after the morning rush tomorrow. So by that afternoon rush, please be careful. We will have snow-covered roads. It's going to be very slippery outside all over the state. Closer to Portland, more of that rain and snow mix. So they will see a combo of sleet, some rain, some snow, but mainly a snow event for our area here in town this time around. Lingering snow showers all over the region by Saturday morning, and then finally things start to clear up by those afternoon hours, but still some clouds are going to be hovering right by the coast, of course, by those afternoon hours on Saturday, and then later into the evening hours on Saturday, we will finally start to clear up. Now, the main question is, how much snow are we going to get? Well, here in town, we're looking at anywhere around 2 to 4 plus inches of snow. The more north you go, the more snow you're going to get, especially into these darker blue colors. That's where temperatures are going to be much cooler, back well below freezing, and that snow will be falling throughout the day on Friday. Now, warm temperatures finally made its way up north. New York City, they had a week and a half of winter. Now they're back to spring, right? Back to 50s and 60s all over the area. Most of the bitterly cold air is all the way up north. Alaska getting in on that very, very cold air. We're going to get a taste of that by Monday into Tuesday. Take a look at this. We got some low to mid-20s moving in Monday, Tuesday into Wednesday. For tonight, though, mid-20s outside, mainly cloudy. It's an increase in clouds. For tomorrow, though, that's that main event, that dinner, right? We're going to get that snow, 2 to 4 plus inches of snow here in town. Temperatures near freezing, so that wet snow. Our extended forecast outlook does get much better and warmer by Sunday before bitterly cold temperatures arrive by Monday. Peter?
All right, thank you, Conrad. We have sports coming right up next. Stay with us.
CEM DP Porter Contractors has been in business for over 40 years in the Bangor area. We specialize in commercial, medical, and residential design build construction, as well as building maintenance and renovations. CEM DP Porter Contractors is currently hiring in Herman for multiple positions, including carpenters and a project manager superintendent. We offer vacation, holidays, a 3% IRA match, competitive pay, and a family-oriented environment. If interested in applying, please contact Jason at 848-7486.
Are your gutters weighed down by debris causing them to sag and overflow? I'm Tony Hafford with TC Hafford Basement Systems. Clogged gutters lead to costly repairs for your home, so skip the cleaning and stop the clogs with Gutter Shutter. Gutter Shutter, the world's best gutter, is a high-performance gutter with a lifetime no-clog guarantee. Stop the clutter, get Gutter Shutter. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basementy.
My father worked at the mill for over 30 years. He was exposed to a great community and excelled at his job, but he was also exposed to asbestos. The air quality inside the mill was always his biggest complaint. He had no idea how deadly some of the products and materials were. When he was diagnosed with mesothelioma, we knew to call Joe Bornstein's office to get my dad the help he needs and the justice he deserves.
Call Joe today for a free case evaluation. There's never a fee unless you win.
Tired of your internet service constantly letting you down? Those other providers may promise the world with their flashy advertisements, but are you truly having a good customer experience? Fear not, because there's a new player in town. Introducing GoNet Speed. No more endless hold times or automated responses. We're here to listen, support, and provide you with the exceptional service you deserve. Our fast, reliable fiber internet, it's mind-blowing. Let us show you what true internet satisfaction feels like.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Engstrom's Auto Service in Guilford. We specialize in all foreign and domestic service and alignments.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. We are going to start on the ice here. After starting just 1-5, the Brewer-Lawrence-Skowhegan Hockey Co-op is unbeaten in their last 4 games. With a new head coach and young players starting to find themselves, it really was only a matter of time. Ryan Sudol has more.
We're really working on our things that we need to work on, and it's finally coming together, so we're really glad about that.
The Brewer-Lawrence-Skowhegan Boys Hockey Co-op started this season as cold as, well, ice, but the Witches are in the midst of a 4-game unbeaten streak.
The morale's been pretty high. All-around chemistry has been building between the team, and it's been pretty well.
The Witches came into this year with much inexperience, and a big part of their run has been their youth coming into their own.
They came in a little nervous, but I feel like the upperclassmen, we've done a good job of really pushing them in practice and making them better players so that when it comes to games, they're ready to go.
Once their skills came into play, all it took was everyone finding their right roles, and things were up from there.
We made some changes, really fit guys with the scheme well. We had to move some things around until we found what stuck and made everyone comfortable.
The mastermind behind that scheme, new head coach and decades-long veteran Dennis Collins. A former state champion with Old Town Orono, the team knew he'd be special.
When I heard about his background, I was extremely optimistic and knew that we would be in good hands.
Brand new drills, brand new coaching style. He works really well with running plays and all that stuff, so just bringing us together as a team.
And the Witches will have to continue that mindset in the future, especially Friday night when they face Class A #1 Bangor in the annual Phil the Alphon game in Orono.
The whole Bangor and Brewer communities come together and support both teams, and it's a really great event, so we're really excited.
And what a better way to build momentum towards the postseason than a momentous upset win.
We just have to come into it and play our style, play fast, and not give them any time.
In Brewer, I'm Ryan Sudol, ABC 7, Fox 22 Sports.
All right, thanks for that, Ryan. Let's stay with the hockey talk now. Maine hockey off this weekend, back in action next Friday at Northeastern. The Black Bears recently adding some new talent to their roster, too, all the way from New Mexico. Defenseman Jack Dalton recently joined the team just a few weeks ago from the NAHL. Dalton was the captain for the New Mexico Seawolves. In 22 games there this season, he had 17 points on 12 assists and 5 goals. After just a few practices with Maine, Dalton saw some game action on Saturday night, nearly scoring a goal in his first shift. Dalton says the decision to come to Maine wasn't an easy one, but was best for him. And so far, his new head coach has been impressed with what he's seen.
Yeah, I basically got a phone call and they asked if I wanted to join second semester, and it wasn't an easy decision. Like I was our captain in New Mexico. Like I love all those boys. That was home for me for 2.5 years. So it was sort of just a decision that I made for my development and just what I had to do to get to college and get to the Division I level.
I was impressed with the poise and the composure he played with the other night because, really had like 2 or 3 practices and you're chucking him into a game in Hockey East, and he didn't. I think he almost scored in his first shift, so that would be a situation where if he was a little bit nervous, you wouldn't blame him, but he didn't appear to be.
All right, good stuff there. Let's move on to some hoops. Staying in Orono, Maine men's basketball looking for their second win in a row, and they're due for some home cooking. Black Bears, they're hosting the Great Danes from Albany. America East Rookie of the Year last year, Jonathan Beagle in town. Maine coming off a win at NJIT. Second half, Maine hot out of the gate. Adam Cisse gets it to Jaden Clayton. He gets through the defense and to the bucket. Nice finish for 2. Maine with it again. Here's Kellen Tynes with it. Crossover, the drive. Kick to Clayton to Jashante Wright-McLeish, who fires the 3 and nails it. Good extra pass there. But here comes Albany. They would make this a game. Marcus Jackson has it driving, finds Beagle, and he finishes through traffic for 2. but Maine would hang on for the win here. Tynes has it. He's going out to right McLeish. He misses the three-pointer, but Peter Filipovich gets the board and connects. He led all scorers with 23. He's pumped up. Maine wins 81-73. All right, let's move on to some women's hoops now. It was a battle of unbeatens, both at the top of America East. This one in Albany. Second half, Maine down 9, but they would storm back. Adriana Smith gets it to Sarah Talon. She drives to the hoop and gets it to go. Talon driving again here. She can't get it, but Smith is there for the rebound and cleans it up for 2. She had another double-double. Maine down 5 still. Anna Cahalan has it. Inside to Smith, off the glass and in, just a 3-point game. But Albany would be too much down the stretch. Lily Phillips off an offensive rebound, cashes in the 3, and here come the Danes now breaking the press. Kayla Cooper with the spin and dish to Deja Evans. Albany hands Maine their first loss, 54-47. All right, let's go to some high school action now. We're going to start with a AA boys contest. Bangor hosting Lewiston in Red Barry Gym. First quarter, Bangor's Jaden Ramos kicks it to Cam Tardif, takes a long-range 3 from the top of the key, and he buries it. Later, Lewiston's Caden Boone going inside and spinning his way to the hole for 2. He gets that one to go. Still in at the first, Bangor's Ryan Ford. Going to lose the ball here, gets it right back out of Deion Jackson's hands. He'll go all the way to the bucket, finishes for 2. And finally, a rebound. It's Boone tossing it down to Abdi Rahman Dakane. He pulls up for a triple. That goes down. Lewiston scores 28 in the first. They ride that to a 63-52 win. All right, finally over to Brewer for some Class A boys action, which is hosting Messalonsky. Third quarter, Brewers. Charlie Bridges has it. Over to Logan Littlefield in the corner for 3, and he drains that one. Later on, here comes Brewers' Stephen Youngs forcing his way to the bucket, gets the lay-in to go through traffic as he goes down. Final seconds of the third now. Messalonsky's Merrick Smith taps the loose ball out to Jacob Moody. 3 at the horn is good. Eagles up 6 after 3. Fourth quarter, more of the same. Smith blocks Kayan Philbrick, tosses it down to Ty Bernier, who finishes at the rim. Messalonsky goes on to win a close one, 56-50. All right, that's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Float to Fire Farms. Our products and staff are of the highest quality. Glassware, powerful puff, and CBD products. You'll be so happy your face will light up. 38 Storette Drive in Belfast.
If you're a recent or soon-to-be college grad and not exactly sure what your new qualification will bring you, just look to the clever few. They know that Toyota could reward their hard work with an impressive $500 rebate on any new Toyota. That's right. Recent and soon-to-be college grads could get a $500 rebate over and above already great financing or lease offers. So see your New England Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
Come stop by Triple S Tack Shop, 315 Hamden Road, Carmel, for quality clothing and equestrian gear.
When you've experienced fire and smoke damage in your home, when pipes break and you have water everywhere, when you're concerned about your family's health because of mold, you need a friendly face to take care of it all. You need the friendly faces of Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. We're just a click or call away. Whatever life throws at you, Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration is here for you. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. You keep the memories, we'll handle the rest.
Winter is flu season, and not only that, but COVID is still with us, as is RSV. Remember, it takes your body about 2 weeks after you get any vaccination to ramp up those antibodies. Now is the time for you and your family to get vaccinated against the flu, COVID, and RSV. Updated vaccines are now available for flu and COVID-19, and depending on your age, active steps you can take to prevent RSV. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist, or go to vaccines.gov. A message from the Maine CDC, this station, and the Maine Association of Broadcasters.
Float to Fire Farms. Our products and staff are of the highest quality. Glassware, powerful puff, and CBD products. You'll be so happy your face will light up. 38 Storette Drive in Belfast.
Sharpen your knives. We are back.
Let's go. This season, you'll have to earn your place on one of our teams.
Are you ready? Next Level Chef returns January 28th on Fox.
Welcome back. While it's still experimental, a new study is showing how gene therapy can restore the hearing of kids born with inherited deafness. Fox's Jackie Ibanez takes a closer look at the medical marvel.
Gene therapy is helping several kids born with inherited deafness to hear. This, according to the results of a new study published in the journal The Lancet. The children in the research all had deafness caused by mutations in a gene involved in transferring sound to the brain.
It happens to be a gene that where fortunately the rest of the inner ear is preserved and is healthy. And so all that needs to be done in his particular gene disorder is to replace that gene.
Through surgery, doctors in the U.S. and China were able to place a working copy of the damaged gene into their inner ear.
Mama.
5 out of the 6 kids in China saw massive improvements after roughly half a year.
They won't hear a thing. But after the treatment, they can hear and they can have a normal conversation.
The Children's Hospital of Philadelphia revealing similar results in an 11-year-old patient there.
His hearing is improved from a state of complete and profound deafness with no sound at all to the level of mild to moderate hearing loss.
The World Health Organization says roughly 34 million kids around the globe are deaf or have hearing loss, with genes responsible for up to 60% of those cases. In the future, doctors hope to advance this research to help more kids born with inherited deafness and potentially target other genes that cause different types of hearing loss. Jackie Ibanez, Fox News.
Some pretty amazing stuff there. And finally tonight, NASA's little helicopter on Mars called Ingenuity has flown its last flight. Along with its counterpart, the Perseverance rover, Ingenuity took part in a search for evidence that there was once life on Mars, but its mission came to an end last Thursday when at least one rotor broke during a flight. NASA says Ingenuity will have to be left behind on Mars, where it arrived in the undercarriage of the Perseverance rover almost 3 years ago.
As it was coming down for landing, at least one of its carbon fiber rotor blades was damaged. We're investigating the possibility that the blade struck the ground.
On April 19th, 2021, Ingenuity made history when it became the first aircraft to take off on another planet. Its rotors had to spin 2,400 times a second to generate sufficient lift in such a thin atmosphere. NASA had called the flight a Wright brothers moment for planetary exploration. Some incredible stuff there. End of an era. All right, well, that's all for tonight, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in and have a great rest of your evening. Take care.